Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 273 of the Directcasters podcast. Tyler is still here. Gables is still here.
Yep.
All right, cool. I'm gonna try to get away from that awkward intro we had yesterday after our second show. This is our second show of the night as well. So in case you guys missed it, we talked about Square Enix. It was a very short show, like 12 minutes. If you missed it, check it out. So this episode we're gonna talk about Ubisoft's E3 press conference. Still covering all of those. I'm gonna do the same thing I've been doing on all the other ones, where I'm gonna run through everything. And then we're gonna talk about it. Talk about everything at the end here. So started off with a big dance thing. There was a panda, which was really cool. But it's Just Dance 2019 coming out this October, and it's coming to the Wii still. Fun fact, fun. So that's ridiculous to me. But fun fact for you guys: the Wii version of Just Dance 2018, the highest selling copy of that game.
What?
Yeah. So that's crazy, but it makes sense then. I guess with the motion controls, that makes sense. But yeah, so it's still coming to the Wii U and the Wii. Beyond Good and Evil 2, we had a CG trailer for that. They showed some pre-alpha footage. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who is a gorgeous man, by the way, came out. They are doing. He's a co-founder of a company called Hit Record, where they actually find people go to them and they send music and art and all kinds of things to them. And I'm not really sure what he does for that. But what they're doing here it's called a Space Monkey program, and what they want is for fans and people out there to send music and art and ideas from the people, the common man, and you can potentially have your stuff in the game. So like if you have like a cool graffiti or something out there, a design that you do, it could be on a wall in the game and in the game itself. And the cool thing is they actually pay people for that. So if your stuff gets in there, then you might get a little bit of money. And then Rainbow Six Siege coming out there talking about there's a new documentary coming out for it called Mindset. It's a doc about some of the esports players, and they announced that 35 million players have played Rainbow Six Siege, which is really cool for a game that was dead on arrival when it came out.
Yep.
For a few months in 2015. And I remember Jake put that as one of his favorite games of the year. And raved about the game. And I'm like, really? No one's playing that game. Now it's one of the biggest games in the world right now. Then they showed off Trials Rising. It is the new Trials game. The game where you ride a motorcycle and you just get fucked up a lot. It's coming out in February 2019, and it's coming to Switch. Then Division 2 was shown off again. They announced 8-player raids. They have years of updates planned. There's 3 DLC packs coming out in the first year, and it's all free. So it sounds like there's probably going to be some cosmetic stuff you can buy with microtransactions, but the DLC, there's no season pass, there's nothing like that, so that's cool. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, they showed up, they had a concert, which was really great because the music in that game was fantastic. And they did some cool they did the DK rap and did a lot of, it was really great. It was a really cool concert they did for it, a little mini one. The DLC for it, I'm a little disappointed because my prediction a couple days ago was it was going to be shadow dropped out now. Unfortunately, it's coming out June, which not really unfortunate. It's 2 weeks out, but it's coming out June 26th. And no one else has said this or talked about this. Maybe a lot of people didn't buy the season pass like me, but for season pass owners, the game comes out on June 25th.
Yep.
So that tells me that, which kind of sucks because that means I bought the season pass for no reason because I don't give a fuck about playing the first one. The first pack they released, but yeah. So if you bought season pass, get it a day earlier. If not, that means it's going to come out as its own separate thing. I don't know how much. Probably going to be $20 or something. I think season pass is $25. Then we had a long gameplay session for Skull and Bones. It is the online multiplayer pirate ship game. It's coming out in 2019. Transference. It is the Elijah Wood game they announced last year. It was the VR game. It's coming out this fall, but they said it's coming to traditional consoles, which tells me that it's not going to be a VR only game anymore. I'm guessing at one point it was, but now it's not. Then probably the biggest surprise of the conference, Starlink, the Atlas, something, I don't know what the fuck it's called. It was that Toys to Life game they announced last year, and we were both scratching our heads on why they're doing this. And actually, rumors the last few months have been that they ripped the Toys to Life stuff out of it, and the game was still going to happen, but they were getting rid of that. They're not doing that. They're actually double downing on that because Star Fox is going to be in this. You can buy an R-Wing toy, and it has Fox McCloud with it. It's coming to Switch, obviously. It's coming out October 16th, and the Fox McCloud R-Wing stuff is exclusive to the Switch, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's $60, but I think you have to buy the game for the Switch to get Fox McCloud and all that stuff. I'm not sure on that. There's not a lot of details. I just know the price, and I think you can, or there's a pack you can buy with him. I'm not sure how that works. I think it'd be cool just to have that, have the R-Wing itself with Star Fox. But anyways, then For Honor came. They talked more about that. Unfortunately, they didn't have the cool guy with the cane this time, like they did a couple years ago when they announced the game. That was the worst part of the conference because they didn't have him. It is free on PC this week. They announced Marching Fire content with some new warriors and then a new 4v4 mode, I think called Bridge. I couldn't tell. The guy had an accent, so I was having trouble understanding what he said there at the end. Then we had Crew 2. The beta starts on June 21st, but the game comes out like June 26th, so I don't know how it's a beta, but apparently it's a beta. And then Assassin's Creed Odyssey was shown off. But funny enough, the Ubisoft put the pre-orders up for it on their store like 10 minutes before the press conference started. So, and then the trailer was released on like Ubisoft's like France YouTube page.
Uh-huh.
So all the details for this game was already out there before the press conference started, which is really funny. But it's coming out October 5th. I think if you buy like the collector edition or one of the higher price editions, you can get the game on October 2nd, I think. And this one you can choose between being a male and a female character. It's not just like your generic male and female character. The whole different characters. And just the game plays differently apparently for that. There's dialogue options, and then it takes place in Greece. So the rumors, pretty much all the rumors for this were true.
Yep.
So yeah, that was how it ended. It was about a little over an hour and a half. I think it was like an hour and 36 minutes, something like that, when it was all said and done. So Gables, what did you think of the Ubisoft press conference?
All right, just going through things and stuff like that. I thought that the Just Dance stuff, yeah, that was entertaining and stuff, but it really kind of surprises me that game series still sells well on the Wii and even some parts of the Wii U still.
I want to know I want a breakdown of the geography for that. Like, is it selling like crazy in Europe or Japan, or is it like in the U.S.? Like, the Wii stuff makes sense because it's the motion controls, and Kinect's dead. So if anybody's gonna have it for that stuff to be cool, I guess it's gonna be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to know the breakdowns for that. But go on, I'm sorry.
Well, let's see. Beyond Good and Evil 2, I thought the reveal trailer that they had last year was good, and then this trailer definitely has me wondering what else is next. But they had a little bit of concepts of some of the alpha footage for the gameplay, and it definitely has that type of feel where it's going to be kind of like an explorational sort of open world-ish type of game. Which, hey, that's not bad and stuff. It looks freaking pretty. And I do like a lot of the community stuff they're going to be moving forward with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and stuff. Try to get all this various collaborative efforts from different people to try to create this whole artistic sort of mashup stuff for music and this and that, and even their artwork inside of the game. That's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Rainbow Six Siege. Not too much my thing. I'm not really more into the kind of the squad based sort of shooters. It just really takes a specific thing in order for me to get into one of those. Trials Rising. I like the fact that it's coming on to Switch, but yeah, I just got to be in the mood to play some of those types of games. But yeah, I think it's awesome that another Trials game is coming. Let's see, Division 2, kind of the same as Rainbow Six Siege. I am happy that people who wanted raids inside the Division are getting raids now, and plus a lot of the free updates and stuff like that too. That's going to be along with the game. I kind of checked out when they were talking about the Division 2 and stuff like that, but I went forth and I saw the whole Mario and Rabbids, the Donkey Kong DLC, which I loved watching that thing unfold with the whole orchestra stuff with Grant Kirkhope, because that was one of my favorite parts of that entire press conference, where it's oh hey, it's Grant Kirkhope, he's going to be conducting a song for Donkey Kong, and it's yeah, that was one of my favorite parts.
Sweet bass guitar.
Oh, I know. Let's see, Skull and Crossbones. Skull and Bones I didn't really particularly care about, even though the gameplay looked okay. Transference, yeah, it's okay, but I'm not really all into the VR stuff. But yeah, the game looked alright in and of itself. Starlink, last year I didn't really have too much interest in Starlink because of the whole Toys for Life game stuff. But what's interesting enough is like they're like their reveal of Star Fox being inside there actually makes me consider maybe wanting to play it. That alone. Oh god, the whole Toys for Life thing. I still need to see more gameplay of that, of Starlink and stuff, in order for me to even remotely pull the trigger on it. But the whole Star Fox stuff on the Switch version does sound very tempting. For Honor, I didn't really care too much for Honor. Same thing with the Crew 2. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I thought the game looked beautiful. I also love the element that you can choose, kind of like how you did in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, where you can choose between like the male or the female protagonist to play specific like parts though. But they're going a step further where you can just control like one of the main characters throughout the entire game. I thought the combat-wise kind of looked similar to what Assassin's Creed had done previously. A lot of this stuff definitely gave the impression of, oh, this definitely does feel like another Assassin's Creed game, only it looks pretty, the character and the story are a bit different, and it seems more interesting than some others in the series. But I do like the fact that it's going to be coming out in October and not like crowded into like November or like even like early next year, as a lot of the other games are apparently doing. But overall, the Ubisoft press conference, well, sure, there were some games that were showcased there that I was not interested in, but at the same point, there were plenty of good moments and a good variety of games for those people who are interested in like the military-based shooters, like the Division 2 or more Rainbow Six stuff. There's definitely some interesting stuff for people who love like the casual stuff as well, like not Just Cause, but like Just Dance 2019. But overall, I thought the quality of it was, let's see, it definitely was better than EA, definitely was better than Square Enix. I mean, we are pretty much set. Those two are like near the bottom of the bar for this year. But I think it's right underneath Microsoft, but not by much. I'm going to say, let's see, what did I give Microsoft yesterday? A 7 out of 10?
I'm scrolling up now. You gave it a 7 out of 10, correct?
Okay, so for the Ubisoft, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
I thought there were some good moments inside there. I do like some of the reveals that were there that were pretty much like good surprises, like the whole Star Fox inside Starlink, and plus like more of like various Ubisoft stuff coming to Switch with Trials Rising and stuff. But otherwise, it was just kind of like a generic thing with some games we've already known about for a while, like Assassin's Creed Odyssey. We've known pretty much, and you just went on like saying they revealed a whole bunch of the information about that game just like 10 minutes before their presser.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I pretty much thought of the Ubisoft one.
Oh, that's cool, man. So, like I said, I thought the Just Dance stuff was actually, for the first time ever, I thought it was actually really entertaining. I don't know why, I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, the marching band stuff. Like, I have no interest in playing that game, but every other year it's always started with Just Dance. Always some dumb dance number. Remember the one year they had it where like you can play with your smartphones now and use that. And there was like 100 people playing with smartphones, like just dancing with smartphones, but they were actually playing the game. It was really dumb. And every year it's always been like cringe worthy. And this year, I'm like, I kind of want this to keep going. I'm enjoying it. The panda was great. He sold it. He made it for me. And then just like it started outside, and then like it was all like one shot, and then now they're inside, and it was cool. I thought it just kind of worked really well. Beyond Good and Evil 2, I don't know anything about Beyond Good and Evil. Apparently Jade's evil, and that's a big thing. It's a prequel. I should probably play that game. But yeah, for the people that are excited for that, good for you guys. It definitely looked cool, and like it looked beautiful, and the pre-alpha stuff. It's gonna be open world because of course it is the Ubisoft game. But yeah, and then the stuff with the people are wanting artwork and ideas and music from the fans. That's a really cool thing. That'd be really great. I think if EA should really get on that with like their all their sports games. They have all the music. They always get these lesser known people and they just buy the rights to their songs. Like this would be a really cool thing to do. I think they should be the type to do that. Rainbow Six Siege, like I said, it's cool that the coolest thing about Ubisoft is that they stick to their games.
Yeah.
Even if, like, and they fix them, or even they always, these things, like, a lot of times they come out and they're not exactly right, and they're really good at kind of changing on the fly. Did the same thing with Division, Rainbow Six Siege, Wildlands. They've always done a really great job of keeping that going for a while. So to see the fact that they're on their 10th season, been out for 3 years now, and still riding high. That's really cool to see. Not my bag, but still, that's really cool. Trials Rising, man, I miss the days of, like, when, like, the Trials HD, and I think, what was the second one? Was it Fusion? Yeah, Fusion.
Yep.
When those came out, and, like, everybody on my friends list on the Xbox 360 was playing those games. So you could see their scores, you could see their times, and it's like, oh, I'm going to beat those. And then, like, Evolution came out in, like, 2014. It was just, like, 3 people bought it, and then, like, Jake saw my scores and, like, destroyed all of them. And I was like, well, that took all the fun out of that game. Like, I have no chance. So I went from having, like, 15 friends playing on 360 to having 3 or 4 playing on the PS4, and Jake just destroyed all my times, which wasn't, that kind of took all the fun out of it. Division 2, that game looks really cool. It's actually, but Division 1 was my game of the show for the first 2 years, like 2013 and 14.
Yep.
So who knows? I ended up never even really play. I think I played the beta, which I had fun playing. But that's because I played with you and Jake.
Yep.
But yeah, they look really cool. So I don't know, but I mean, obviously, like, these kind of games, I end up not really caring for once they come out. It's one of those games I enjoy. I enjoy playing, but the problem is, like, all the people like that, all my friends that I play with this game with. I think I mentioned yesterday or the other day is I would just get out of the tutorial and they're already beating the game. So they're level 30 and I'm like level 4.
Yep.
So my issue is just, sitting down and playing through those games. Mario plus Rabbids, I already got Season Pass. I've been geeking out about that for ever since they announced Donkey Kong Adventures and all that stuff, I think a couple months ago. I've been ready for it. I've been talking about this since, like, last August. That's how excited since the game came out. I've been talking about I want the DLC for this. So almost a year. So I just gotta wait 2 more weeks. It's not as soon as I'd hope, but it's 2 weeks away, so I can't complain too much. Skull and Bones, I literally fell asleep during the section of it, so that tells you how much I cared about this. It looks cool, but it's just like the online 5v5 stuff. I don't care. Transference. I don't even know what to think about it. Like, it seems like there's a million, like, horror games, jump scare games for the VR systems right now, and this just looks like another one of those. Hopefully, it comes out and it's good, but I don't think there's actually really a true good one out there. Like, there's some mediocre ones, but there's a lot of bad ones. So maybe this can kind of break that tradition of just shitty horror games. Starlink, Star Fox, I think, has saved that game.
Yep.
That game last year, everybody was just like, why? What's the point? I think this game would be better off just getting the Toys of Life than adding Star Fox. But they've added more buzz to it with the Star Fox stuff, so I can see why they did it. Toys of Life stuff is already dead. If Disney couldn't make it work and Skylanders is dead, when those Skylanders were probably the most popular thing in video games for a couple of years stretch there, and now it's gone over with for a couple of years ago. I mean, what can do it? What can make it make it popular? And this is a brand new IP. This isn't even like established stuff like Disney had, and they couldn't make it work. So this feels like it's 2-3 years too late. But I guess I could eat my words on that. I mean, we've said that before about stuff, and speaking of, like, For Honor, that was a game that was dead on arrival, and it's still got a pretty good. It's not as big as, like, Rainbow Six Siege, but it's got a pretty decent sized fan base still to this day. So. But yeah, I think, like I said, the Star Fox stuff is really cool. I would like to just buy the Star Fox part of it and not play the game because I don't care about that. But yeah, that's the only part that made the thing interesting to me. It's probably going to do. I guarantee you that thing's going to sell more on the Switch than everything else.
It will,
just because of Star Fox, and it's just because probably no one's going to buy it on anything else because there's no real point to buying that thing.
I know. There's no exclusives with the other consoles. It's like,
yeah,
you got Star Fox on the Switch version, and it definitely gives me the feel of, like, Soul Calibur 2 all over again. Because guess what was the best-selling version of that game? The GameCubes, because of Link.
With Link, yeah. Well, I mean, Spawn on Xbox totally made sense because
Yeah.
he's really well known for being on Xbox. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I can need more words on that, but uh, well, I don't understand it at all. Like For Honor, that's fine. Crew 2, cool. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, man, I don't know. I look at those games, I'm like, like 3 years ago it was one of my favorite franchises, and now it's just like I can't tell if I'm burnt out. I just don't like the changes they made to the franchise. I really don't know. Um, like I played Origins. I talked about it a lot on when it first came out. Like I enjoyed it at first, and then it's like there's so much grinding in it. Like to get to the next missions, you have to they force you like the way you level up in those games. You don't level up anywhere near enough fast enough by doing just the story missions to keep going
Yeah.
through it, fluidly. So they just can give you all these boring, side missions, and I just could not care less about them. The combat's better. I thought Egypt was cool. Greece sounds cool. I would like it more if they leaned into more of the Greek mythology stuff, which they're not going to. That part would make me more interested than, they try to keep it somewhat realistic, other than the fact you can go through someone's memory to go to their ancestors part. So I don't know. It's fine. This game gets more and more Witcher like every year. But I feel like the dialogue option stuff hasn't been like really cool or interesting. That hasn't been a selling point in the game in like 5 years.
Yep.
I mean, by the time Mass Effect 3 came out, that was no longer like a cool novelty thing. That was just kind of like the thing now. Kind of like how Telltale was like, or like Heavy Rain was like when that came out. That was a cool thing, and then like now everybody just does it. There's a million of those. Like that's what Telltale is. And that's kind of what dialogue options are at this point. It just kind of feels dated to make that kind of a big ordeal. Playing, getting to choose between male and female character, that's cool. I actually I like the female character more in that sense. The male character, I can't remember his name, just didn't seem interesting at all. So yeah, the taking place Greece is kind of cool. The settings are always interesting. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just it sucks. Like I said, a few years ago, this was one of my favorite franchises, and I was talking to someone on Facebook about it, and like I told them like I think I just kind of burnt out on them. Like really, since Revelations, which was the fourth game of the franchise, I think this is like the ninth or 10th of the main franchise. Outside of Black Flags, since Revelations, we're talking about 3, Black Flag, Unity, the one after Unity. Syndicate, thank you. I don't know why I don't know that. Why do you know that and I don't? It's weird. Origins, and then Odyssey. So yeah, I guess that would be 9. Really, outside of Black Flags, none of them have been truly great to me. I know Origins is beloved by a lot of people. A lot of people consider it one of the best games of last year. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't think the franchise has been great. I do kind of want to play the one they ported over from the 360 one that came out the same year as Unity, and because that's more like the classic Assassin's Creed games. I want to know, is it the changes they made, or is it truly I'm burnt out on Assassin's Creed? I'm going to have to play that and find out. But overall, I kind of screwed up my scoring system. I feel like I need to like go back and change it. Because the hard part is like, I don't want to rate this one too high, because what if I give this a 9 out of 10, but then something comes out and that's a 9.5 out of 10, or like I give something a 9.5 out of 10, but then something's like a 10 out of 10, or I give something like, if I gave Microsoft a 10 out of 10, but then Sony or Nintendo came out and it was better, I'm like, well, fuck, I just broke my system. So I feel like I broke the system already, because I gave Bethesda a 7.
Yeah.
And I think I like this slightly more than Bethesda's, just because Bethesda, like half of that conference was boring mobile shit or MMO shit, but then like they had Doom, which was like to me the only saving grace of it. But there's a lot of cool shit other than that. This one I was never really bored out of. It kind of flowed pretty well. But for me, outside of Division 2, nothing, or Mario Rabbids obviously, outside of those things, nothing really interested me. There was like an 8-minute gap in that where I was like, oh yeah. The rest of them was like, that's cool. And then the dance number. So I gave Bethesda a 7. I gave Microsoft 7.5. If I can, I'm gonna go back and go Microsoft an 8 out of 10, and I'm gonna give this a 7.5 because I like this more than Bethesda, but I like Microsoft's more because I was never bored with Microsoft, right. And this one had some low points in it. So I'm changing my system. I'm breaking some rules here, Gables. I apologize. But I got to do it to make it make sense. So, before we get out of here, anything you want to add before we go?
Nope, that about does it.
All right, cool then. So that was our episode for this one. I almost said for the week. It is not for the week because we'll be back here very shortly talking about Sony. So thank you guys for listening. We'll be back here in a little bit with Sony's. Bye.